The 10th time Sophia tried to end her life to escape marrying me, I told the system I was giving up on the mission. As punishment, it erased every memory I had of her. 3 years passed, then an alarm blared in my head. Sophia remembered everything. She and her daughter were tearing the city apart searching for me. I just stared into space and asked the system, "Who's Sophia?"
Ow.
The officiant had just prompted us to exchange rings when Sophia's phone buzzed. It was her muse, Julian. "I'm sorry, Sophia." His voice crackled through the speaker, thick with emotion. "I can't do this. I can't live without you." My lips trembled. I tried to pretend I hadn't heard. I tried to force the platinum band onto her finger. But she yanked her hand away, and the ring clattered across the polished floor, collecting dust and grime, a perfect mirror of my heart. Sophia didn't even glance at it. Her eyes were wild with anxiety, her voice shaking. "Where are you?" "I'm coming right now. Don't do anything stupid." Then Julian hung up. Sophia's face was a mask of panic, her whole being already gone, consumed by thoughts of him. She hiked up the skirt of her white Vera Wang gown and turned to leave. I grabbed her arm, ignoring the shocked gasps and judgmental stares of our guests. I wanted to fall to my knees and beg. "We're one step away. Just let me put the ring on your finger and I'll go with you to see Julian. Please." This was our 10th wedding. If this one failed, my chance to save her would be gone forever. But her brow furrowed in annoyance. Her eyes cold and empty of any feeling for me. "Ethan," she snapped. "When are you going to stop getting between me and Julian? Agreed to marry you. Agreed, is it too much to ask to see him for 1 second?" I opened my mouth, but no words came. Pain squeezed my chest. There's nothing more humiliating than your bride trying to bolt from the altar, forcing myself to move. I picked up the dirtied ring. Just exchange the rings, that's all. "You don't want me to come with you?" "Fine, I won't." "Okay, even." Then, I still clung to a sliver of hope. If she would just put on this ring, my mission would be a success. She could live a long, safe life in this world, Evan, if the man by her side wasn't me. But Sophia stepped back, grabbed a bottle of red wine and smashed it on the floor. The spill spread like blood. She lifted a jagged shard of glass to her throat. One small push, and it would slice through her delicate skin. My breath caught. Her smile was both tragic and fierce. "If you don't let me go, you can watch me die right here." A bitter laugh escaped me. Here we go again. Threatening her own life just to run away from me. And the worst part? I couldn't bear the thought of her dying so, in front of everyone. For the 10th and final time, I helped my bride escape her wedding to run to another man. Once she clicked her seatbelt, I looked at her flawless profile, swallowing the acid rising in my throat. I kept my voice gentle. "Take care of yourself, Sophia. I don't think I'll be helping you anymore after this." She shot me a disgusted look, dismissing my words as if they were nothing. Her tone was ice. Couldn't happen soon enough. Then she slammed on the gas and sped away without a backward glance. I was left behind to handle the fallout, ushering out the guests with forced apologies. Their gazes, a mix of pity and ridicule, nearly drowned me. Only after the venue emptied could I breathe. I stared at our wedding portrait, a humorless smile tugging at my lips. Then I loosened my tie and spoke to the system. "Okay, you can send me away now. I'm abandoning the mission." The system was silent for a long time before asking, "You've endured 10 years of this. Are you sure you won't give her one more chance?" I shook my head, my resolve unshakable. "No, I'm done. 10 years was more than enough, as punishment." The system began erasing every memory I had of Sophia. The last decade rewound before my eyes like an old film. I saw the first time I met her accused of stealing a design concept. Her reputation in ruins, her will to live gone. To save her, I ran through a torrential downpour, visiting fashion house after fashion house, gathering evidence until I could clear her name. She'd cried, hugged me, thanked me, and immediately asked me to help her find Julian Cole. "He's my muse," she said. The words stabbed deep. She had once promised I'd be her only muse. Many of her best pieces had been inspired by me. But now, she claimed she couldn't even pick up a pencil without him. Still, I couldn't stand to see her cry, so I agreed to help. Julian was a top model, hard to reach. I pulled every string I had, arranged endless dinners, drank until I ended up in the ER. Finally, I got her chance. Julian became her exclusive muse. And then she told me, "I'm sorry. Ethan, I've fallen in love with him, and I'm having his baby." It hit like lightning.
Ow!
I looked at her blissful smile and fought the urge to tell her she couldn't be with him, that his jealous lovers would destroy her. But she mistook my concern for possessiveness, as if I wanted to control her. "How can you be so shameless?" she screamed. "You helped me a few times, and now you think you have the right to tell me who I can and can't love." Defeated, I let her go. I let her chase her great love story. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Julian's other women came after her. The attacks were brutal, and she almost lost the baby. I was the one who pulled her out of that chaos, telling her we could start over. I didn't care about her past. What could I do? I loved her, broken by the turmoil. Sophia cried and promised me, "After the baby is born, we'll get married." She gave birth to her daughter, Chloe. Her recovery was painfully slow, and she developed severe postpartum anxiety. I patiently cared for them both. The quiet moments, I almost felt like we were a real family. But Sophia never felt the same. On Chloe's 11th birthday, I came home early, hoping to surprise them. Even though Sophia had kept putting off our wedding, I had treated them like family for years. I never missed a birthday or holiday, always planning the perfect gifts. As I approached Chloe's room, I overheard her innocent voice. "Mommy, if I tell Uncle Ethan that I like Daddy more and want to live with him, will he really let us go?" Sophia's laugh was soft and warm. "Of course he will, sweetie. Ethan has the softest heart. He loves you so much. He'd never want to see you sad." "But what if he gets mad and leaves us?" Chloe asked. Sophia laughed again. "He won't. You and I are his whole world, Chloe. He would never leave. Those who are loved without question are always reckless." Sophia knew how much I loved her, so she trampled my feelings without hesitation, destroying wedding after wedding I had planned. But a man's patience has limits, and mine had been eroded year after year by disappointment. Better to walk away than remain trapped in this toxic cycle. I went back to my place, gathered every gift I had ever given Sophia and Chloe, and built a small bonfire in the backyard. I burned it all, every trace of my love for her. The system was still slowly processing my memories when my phone rang. Sophia's frantic voice burst through the line. "Ethan, Julian's been hurt. Can you pick up Chloe from school and bring her to the hospital?" I hesitated, then answered slowly, firmly. "I told you, I'm not helping you anymore." There was silence, then her voice hardened with anger. I knew it. All that talk about loving me was all a lie. It was her old trick. Whatever. I refused her. She'd twist my words and force me to prove my love all over again. I sighed, my tone colder than it had ever been. "Seriously, Sophia, leave me alone. I'm leaving soon." Her voice snapped, sharper still. "Where you go is none of my business. I just need you to get Chloe. After that, you can die in a ditch for all I care." She hung up. I rubbed my temples and grabbed my car keys. Even if I was about to disappear, I couldn't stomach leaving Chloe alone at school. Besides, it was time to end this strange, undefined father-daughter bond once and for all. When I pulled up, my head swam. The system informed me that my memories were fully processed. The moment I left this world, I'd forget them both forever. Taking a deep breath, I walked toward Chloe's classroom. I found her in the middle of a shoving match with another kid. My heart clenched and I rushed forward just in time to hear her shout, "My dad is Julian Cole, not some loser named Ethan. Ethan is just my mom's slave, a dog who comes running whenever she calls. You can insult them all you want, but you can't say anything bad about my dad." For a moment, the blood in my veins turned to ice. My whole body trembled with a deep, cold rage. 5 years of devotion, and this was what? I was to them a slave, a dog. I swallowed the fury and separated the kids. When Chloe saw me, she immediately looked down, her voice small and meek. "Hi, Dad." Even though Sophia and I had never married, Chloe had always called me Dad. Once that word would have warmed my heart. Not anymore. I ignored her and called Sophia, telling her to come get her daughter. Chloe tugged at my sleeve, her timid act a sharp contrast to the venom she'd just spewed. Dad, I'll be good. Please don't let Mom get mad at me, okay? I closed my eyes, my voice flat. I'm not your dad. I'm leaving. Her eyes widened, unable to comprehend what I'd said. I didn't explain. I told her to wait for her mother and walked away without looking back. Now, with no regrets left, I could finally return to my own world and forget them before I left. The system warned me if Sophia or her daughter ever fell into serious danger, it would pull me back again. I didn't think much of it. They were about to live happily ever after with Julian. Whatever happened next had nothing to do with me. I returned to my world and lived quietly. 3 peaceful years passed, and the system reappeared. This is bad. Sophia and Chloe have regained their memories. Julian abandoned them, and now they're desperately trying to find you. I was stunned. Sophia who? The name meant nothing to me. Even though the system insisted she had once been the great love of my life, I couldn't believe it. Finally, as if tired of carrying a burden, the system brought them straight to me. If you can just get them to live peacefully and stop trying to kill themselves, I'll authorize a $10 million bonus for you. I didn't hesitate. Deal. Who could refuse that kind of money? The system vanished. I turned toward the disheveled woman before me. Her eyes were rimmed red, her voice cracking with grief. Why did you leave? Why did you disappear for years without a word? Do you know what our lives have been like? Her voice grew more frantic with every word. I stood there, baffled. I had to admit Sophia was exactly my type, but I felt nothing. For her, I didn't even know who she was. She didn't care. She launched into her story of the last 3 years. According to her, not long after I left, she married Julian. That was the beginning of her nightmare. As a rising fashion designer, Sophia treasured her muse. She took Julian to every fashion week and introduced him to all the major players. In the industry, in return, he went behind her back and found himself a wealthy older benefactor. When Sophia discovered the truth, they had a massive fight. She filed for divorce immediately. Soon after, that same benefactor used her influence to crush Sophia's design studio, running it into the ground. Devastated, Sophia took Chloe and moved back into the house I had once bought for her. The very first night, she dreamed of me. Since her memories had also been erased, she didn't know who I was. But the dreams kept returning, becoming stronger and more frequent, until gaps in her memory began to appear. Then one day, everything came rushing back. She looked at me with deep emotion, grabbed my hand, and refused to let go. It's okay if you don't remember. I can help you. We can take it slow. One day you'll remember everything, and you'll fall in love with me all over again. Okay? Looking at her face, I felt a sudden flicker of something. Then a powerful wave of repulsion washed over me. I immediately pulled my hand away, leaving Sophia frozen in silence. As I turned, I saw a ring slip from her hand and roll across the floor. You gave me this ring, Sophia whispered softly as she picked it up. She didn't put it back on. Instead, she carefully wrapped it in a tissue and tucked it into her pocket. I looked away, Chloe, however, threw herself into my arms, her eyes shining. Ethan, marry my mom. Think you're the best one for her. I want you to be my dad. I let out a short, bitter laugh. What did they think I was? Basketball they could just toss back and forth. Before I could refuse, my phone rang. Seeing the name on the screen, my expression softened and I put it on speaker. My fiancé's sweet voice filled the air. Ethan, you have to see this new dress I bought. Tell me what you think. The irritation in my chest instantly disappeared. Ignoring Sophia's thunderous expression, I gently helped my fiancé pick out a matching outfit and promised to take her to dinner that night. The moment I hung up, Sophia's sharp, accusing voice cut through the air. You're doing great, aren't you, Ethan? How dare you find another woman behind my back? Do you have any idea how much you've wronged me? Her outburst made pedestrians turn and stare, their condemning eyes painting me as some kind of monster. A surge of disgust rose in me, and my voice grew colder. So it was fine for you to marry another man behind my back, but I can't find someone and start my own family. Don't you think that's a bit of a double standard, Miss Vance? Sophia's lips parted, tears instantly welling in her eyes. But you said you'd always be by my side. You promised you'd always support me. Why did you change? I had no memory of ever saying that. But one thing I knew for sure, don't give second chances to people who betray me. From what little the system and Sophia had told me, I used to be her devoted doormat, giving everything and asking for nothing in return. When she married another man, that part of me died. I looked at her tear-streaked, pitiful face and felt nothing, because I don't love you anymore. Sophia froze. Remembering my mission from the system, I added, forget about me. Go back to your own world and live your life. But Sophia wasn't the type to take a hint. The colder and more indifferent I was, the more determined she became. She and Chloe started following me everywhere and sitting at nearby tables. While I had dinner with my fiancé, gentle and considerate by nature, never said anything, though she could clearly sense something was wrong. As I was about to walk her home, Sophia finally stormed over, physically pulling our hands apart. She stood between us like a human shield, glaring at my fiancé. Haven't you had enough? Ethan is my daughter's father. How long are you going to keep clinging to him? The color drained from my fiancé's face. I rushed to explain. That's not true. I have nothing to do with her and especially not with Chloe. The nearly 3 years we'd been together, we had never faced a crisis like this. A cold sweat broke out on my back. Thankfully, my fiancé trusted me more than she trusted this stranger. Still, she was clearly hurt. Ethan, I'm giving you 2 weeks to solve this problem, she said quietly. Otherwise, I think it might be best if we just call it quits. My back stiffened. I immediately swore to her that I would handle it. Trust is the foundation of a relationship, and Sophia and Chloe's sudden arrival had just created the first crack in ours, but Sophia seemed unfazed. After my fiancé left, she looped her arm through mine and said sweetly, "Take us home. From now on, our little family will never be apart again." I coldly pushed her away and silently called a real estate agent to find them a rental. It was the only thing I could do. Sophia's expression grew darker by the second. After I secured the apartment, she grabbed me, her voice spiraling out of control. "Are you really going to throw me away?" "I'm telling you, Ethan, if you keep pushing me away, you'll regret this." I was silent for a moment, then answered calmly, "Don't worry. I absolutely won't regret it. After all, I don't even remember who you are." The words hit Sophia like a physical blow. She stood there stunned, tears rolling down her face like broken pearls. I thought she might finally back off, instead of backing off. She only tried harder, using every trick she could think of to win me back. Every morning, she left a container of homemade food at my door, thinking it would soften me. But she didn't know my stomach couldn't handle spicy food, and that's exactly what she always made. "Ethan, I cooked this myself. Won't you just try a little?" Her eyes were full of hope, but I wasn't the Ethan who once loved her deeply. "No thanks, I already ate." The light in her eyes faded as I walked past. When I got into my car for work, she suddenly ran in front of it, hurled the container at my windshield, and broke down screaming, "Ethan, you're a bastard." Then she ran off, leaving me with the mess. I ended up late for work that day and lost my perfect attendance bonus. I asked the system for help. This couldn't keep going. I couldn't let Sophia keep disturbing my life. I was already covering her expenses, including the rent for her apartment. And more importantly, I only had 7 days left before my fiancé's deadline. Getting Sophia to leave on her own wouldn't be easy. At last, the system agreed. "You make them leave voluntarily, they'll never bother you again." I thought long and hard until I realized there was only one person who could push Sophia away: Julian Cole. I asked the system to let her see how. Julian's life had turned out without her. I was sure that if she had to choose between me and him, she would go back to him. To her, I was nothing more than a convenient backup, and it worked. As soon as she learned Julian regretted leaving and wanted her back, she hesitated. Crying, she clung to me. "I don't want to leave you, but Julian needs me right now." I forced myself to smile and said gently, "I understand. Her eyes were swollen and red, and if I still loved her, that look might have broken me. But I didn't. I watched coldly as Sophia and Chloe stepped toward the dimensional rift, just as I was about to wave goodbye. My own body began to fade with theirs. That's when I realized I'd been tricked. Once her memories returned, Sophia had teamed up with the system to trap me and drag me into her world. She smiled brightly as bodyguards, tied me up, and locked me inside her house. It took me a long time to plan, but I finally got you back. Hugging me tightly, she caressed my face, her eyes filled with obsession. From now on, our little family will stay together. No one will come between us. Her mind was clearly unstable, so I didn't resist. For the next month, she kept me locked up. She brought meals and told stories of our past, hoping to trigger my memories, but I ignored her every time. She couldn't stand my coldness. One day, she stripped off her clothes, pressed my hand to the scar on her abdomen, and said, "This is from when I had Chloe. It hurt so much, but I never regretted it. It proves I loved you." I stayed silent. Did she think I was a fool? I might not remember the past, but I knew Chloe wasn't my child. "No," I said flatly. "That's proof you love Julian. Stop lying to yourself, Sophia." Froze, and tears filled her eyes. "But the one I love now is you, Ethan. Really, it's you." I laughed bitterly. By the time she finally realized her feelings, I had long since given up on her. Now her touch only filled me with disgust. But I had a plan. With the system's help, I pretended to fall into severe depression. My skin broke out in rashes. Ran a constant fever and nausea racked my body. When the doctor examined me, his diagnosis was clear. This man is suffering from severe depression. Avoid any emotional stress in his daily life. Hearing that, Sophia broke down in tears. Clutching her hair, "What do I do, Ethan? How can I help you?" I leaned weakly against the wall, keeping distance. "Stay away from me." Her face went blank. She refused to accept it, dragging in psychologists one after another. But the more she tried, the worse I looked. Within 2 weeks, I was so weak. I could only lie in bed and sip liquid food. My muscles wasted away, my cheeks hollowed, and I looked like death itself. As someone who cared about appearances, Sophia began to lose interest. She rarely entered my room anymore, but she still wouldn't let me go. Cameras filled the space, watching my every move. Sophia was completely unhinged. She talked to me through the monitor, saying, "Honey, I'm studying to become a nutritionist. Just wait, I'll make you as handsome as before." I lay on the bed lifeless, not reacting at all. When she finally stopped talking, I forced myself up, grabbed a pair of scissors, and went into the bathroom. Lying in the tub as cold water filled it, I felt the chill creep through my body. My vision started to fade, and in the darkness, I thought I saw my fiancé from the other world, smiling gently and waving at me. "Ethan, come on. We need to pick out rings. Which one do you like?" I was so close, just one step away from marrying her and starting fresh. What a shame. Before I blacked out, I heard frantic pounding on the door. "Dad, what are you doing? Bomb is really worried about you." It was Chloe's voice, but I didn't respond. I let myself sink into the freezing water. If Sophia knew I died because of her, would she feel guilty? Would she finally let me go? When I woke up, I was in a hospital. A small, soft hand was in mine, and I squeezed it, whispering my fiancé's name. Forcing my eyes open, I saw Sophia's haggard face. She was asleep in the chair beside my bed. Without makeup, she looked fragile, less aggressive, almost pitiable. The rashes on my body were gone. The system had lifted the fake depression. Symptoms. Disgusted, I pulled my hand away. The movement woke her. The moment she saw me awake, tears ran down her face. "You're finally awake. Do you know how long you were unconscious?" I was so scared. She threw herself on me, trying to hug me. The faint scent of men's cologne clung to her, and I gagged, turning my head away. "Get away from me." Her expression froze. Through tears, she choked, "I'm sorry, Ethan. I was wrong. I shouldn't have locked you up. Promise I'll never restrict your freedom again. Please, Just get better. I closed my eyes, refusing to respond, perfectly acting like a depressive patient. After crying for a long while, Sophia called a doctor to evaluate me. No matter how bad the diagnosis is, I'll be there until you're cured, she declared. But I wasn't sick. That depression was fake, created by the system. The results confirmed it. It was perfectly normal. Sophia's face darkened. She threw the report at me, her voice shaking with rage. You've been lying to me this whole time. Was it fun ruining your own body like this? So what if I chose Julian back then? I know I was wrong. Why won't you give me a chance? Why would you rather fake depression and nearly kill yourself than be with me? I looked at her hysterics with a calm, mocking smile. Because you disgust me. And because I'm deeply in love with my fiancé. I'd rather die than stay here. I want to go back to her. Her body trembled with fury, but after a moment, her face smoothed over, and she forced a gentle smile.
Ow.
You're just trying to make me jealous, aren't you? Stop messing around, Ethan. I know for sure I don't love Julian anymore. Not at all. Oh, you don't need tricks to get my attention. I've always been yours. She leaned in to kiss me, but her phone rang. An unknown number flashed on the screen. She answered with a frown, and Julian's panicked voice came through. Babe, you have to help me. I owe a lot of money. They said if I don't pay, they'll cut off my hand. The call cut off. Sophia's face filled with worry. She quickly called her company to prepare ransom money, then turned back to me. I'm sorry, Ethan. Julian is still Chloe's biological father. I can't just let him get hurt. I rolled my eyes, completely indifferent. Sophia gave a little laugh, almost coy. Oh, stop being jealous. I'll have Chloe come sit with you until I'm back. Okay? The thought of dealing with the child, after putting up with her mother, made my blood boil. No need. Just go. Sophia froze, her face dark again. You'd better not be faking sick or pulling any stunts. She stormed out, heels clicking, slamming the door. What an unstable woman. I waited until I was sure she was gone, then scrambled to the window. I climbed onto the AC unit and used the drain pipes to reach the roof. The system, which had been silent, finally spoke up, panicked. What are you doing? I stood against the cold wind and gave my threat. Let me out of this place. If I die, things won't go well for you either. The system's tone turned urgent. Okay, just don't move. I'll find a way to get you out alive. Lifted one foot off the ledge. You have 3 minutes. If you don't figure it out by then, I'm jumping. The system worked fast. It told me Sophia had accepted deep down that I didn't love her anymore, but she couldn't admit it. To make her give up for good, I had to die in front of her. I stared down at the 50-foot drop, my head pounding. You'd better not be tricking me again. The system swore this time was real. It even tracked down where Julian was supposedly being held, but the truth made me laugh. Bitterly. The entire kidnapping was a stunt Julian staged just to win Sophia back. A toxic couple playing their twisted games, and of course I was dragged in as the collateral damage. I was beyond done with them. When I returned to my hospital room, a black hood suddenly covered my head. I heard Chloe's small, apologetic voice. I'm sorry, Ethan. Daddy really wants to win Mommy back, and I can't stand to see him so sad. I promise you'll be safe. I scoffed inwardly. My luck really ran out the day I met this mother-daughter duo. Still, the thought of finally dying in front of Sophia and then going home to my gentle fiancé gave me a strange kind of excitement. An hour later, I was tied up beside Julian, a knife pressed to my throat. Sophia stood across from us, her face pale, eyes darting between me and him. Her voice shook. I have the money. Let them go and I'll pretend none of this happened. The kidnapper sneered. You can only choose one. As the other leaves behind a hand, Julian's acting was flawless. He trembled and begged pitifully. Please, babe, save me. These hands are for giving you massages. I can't take them. Pathetic. I looked away, watching Sophia's tortured expression. What are you hesitating for? Pick your man. He loves you. I don't. Her pupils shrank, but she couldn't decide. Then Julian cried out in pain, blood trickling down his neck. His desperate words rang out. I love you, babe. Even if I die, remember me. I'm sorry everything before was my fault. Genuine or not, it moved Sophia. Tears filled her eyes as she turned to me. I'm sorry, Ethan. If you lose your hand, I'll find you the best doctor. The most advanced prosthetic, I promise. The moment those words left her lips, Julian was released. As he walked past, he whispered smugly, "What good did faking sick do? In the end, she loves me most. I'm the father of her child. You're nothing but an outsider." I smiled coldly. I hope you two are very happy together. He rushed into Sophia's arms, whispering sweet words. She blushed and hugged him back before glancing at me with guilt. I'm sorry, Ethan. Just wait a little longer. I'll save you. I rolled my eyes, snapped free of my captor, and yanked the knife from his hand. Don't bother, Sophia. It's a little game of yours. It's a little game of yours. It's done. Her face changed instantly. She jumped to shield Julian. Julian was just trying to win me back. He'd never really hurt you. Please don't hurt him. I laughed so hard tears ran down my face. So you knew this was all a performance? One staging a drama, the other pretending to fall for it. And I'm the sacrificial pawn. You two are disgusting. As their guilty eyes fixed on me, I raised the knife and slashed my wrist without hesitation. Sophia screamed, "Ethan!" Closed my eyes, tuning her out. The only thought in my head was that I was finally going home to my fiancé. I collapsed as blood pooled on the floor. Everyone froze. Sophia shoved Julian aside and rushed to me, trying to stop the bleeding with trembling hands. I'm sorry. Ethan, I love you. It's you I love. I just didn't want to owe Julian. If you had waited, I would have saved you. Please don't leave me. Her sobs shook her body as she pressed against my chest, helpless. I cursed silently. If not for the system's promise of sending me back to my fiancé, I'd never do something as idiotic as killing myself, but I didn't die. The system explained that Sophia had spent an obscene amount of money to save me, dragging me back from death's edge. Then it said, Sophia truly loves you now. Are you sure you don't want to stay? I laughed coldly. What is this? Human trafficking? Forcing people to stay where they don't want to be? The system hesitated, almost pitying. But she's so pitiful. Why can't you forgive her just once? I cut it off. Don't play dumb. I gave her 10 chances. She wasted every single one. It's her fault, not mine. I'm leaving. The system sighed in defeat. And right on cue, Sophia staged a surprise engagement party. Smiling brightly, she held out a ring. Remember this? Ethan, the one you had custom-made for me? It even has our initials. Expressionless. I knocked the ring from her hand and pointed at Julian, who stood nearby. You want to marry her? Fine. Tell him to get on his knees and apologize. Sophia froze, conflicted. At that moment, Chloe jumped forward, shielding Julian. Mom, wake up. Ethan doesn't love you anymore. Daddy is the one who truly loves. You don't hurt him for Ethan? Sophia snapped, her voice sharp. This is grown-up business. Stay out of it. She ordered her bodyguards to drag Chloe away, then turned back to Julian. She looked at Ethan with guilt, but before she could speak, Julian's face twisted into a venomous sneer. Why should I apologize? Who the hell does he think he is? He was nothing but a dog for you and Chloe. Why should I lower myself for him, eh? Sophia's hand struck his face with a resounding slap. Shut up. You have no right to speak about Ethan that way. He's worth 1,000, no, 1,000,000 times more than you'll ever be. Julian's lip trembled, his eyes wet. That day when you chose me, I thought you'd forgiven me. Sophia's expression hardened. I haven't. I never will. I'll never forgive someone who betrayed me, and I will never hurt Ethan for you again. Julian let out a hollow laugh, madness creeping into his voice. But Sophia, if I can't have you, I can't go on living. Without another word, he turned and bolted up the grand staircase. In an instant, he hurled himself over the balcony. Ow! His body crashed onto the gift table below, splintering wood and sending presents flying. Guests screamed as chaos erupted. Sophia rushed forward, cradling him as he coughed blood and smiled faintly. Remember, I died for you. He was taken to the hospital. While Ethan was locked down even harder, iron bars welded across his windows to prevent another accident. A day later, Chloe stormed into Ethan's room, her eyes swollen from crying. Without a word, she dragged him into a car and drove him to a seaside cliff. Her voice shook with hatred. "At first I thought Mom was just using you to make Dad jealous so he'd come back. But she actually fell in love with you. You're a homewrecker." The word was almost amusing. It was the first time anyone had ever called him that. But Chloe continued, her fists clenched. "Dad's legs are broken, and Mom still refuses to go back to him. It's all your fault. If you die, they'll finally reunite, and I'll get my family back." Ethan narrowed his eyes. "You're 14 now. There are some things you really shouldn't do." She laughed bitterly. "I'll just push you into the ocean. No one will ever know." With that, she shoved him over the cliff. What Chloe didn't know was that Ethan had called Sophia beforehand. She had heard every word of her daughter's twisted rant. By the time she arrived, Ethan had already vanished into the churning sea. The system corrected his status instantly, pulling him back to his original world. Sophia knew then she had lost him forever. Standing on the cliff, as waves slammed against the rocks, she slapped Chloe across the face. "Go back to Julian. Don't ever call me Mom again. I am not your mother." Chloe panicked, grabbing her arm. "Mom, you can't. Dad can't walk anymore. He needs you to take care of him." Sophia's eyes were empty, her voice flat. "I don't care if your father lives or dies. In fact, it would be better if he did." Chloe froze. Sophia had never spoken with such venom. In that moment, it was clear Sophia was ready to abandon everything for the man who was already gone. Her sanity snapped. Step by step, she walked toward the ocean. "Ethan, the water's so cold, isn't it? Don't be afraid. I'm coming to join you. Even if it's another world, I'll follow." Chloe clung to her desperately. "Mom, are you insane? How can you abandon me and Dad for Ethan?" But Sophia was insane. Chloe and Julian committed her to a psychiatric hospital, forbidding her from leaving. Every time she stepped outside, she searched for the ocean, throwing herself into it again and again, nearly dying each time. Nothing reached her anymore. She clutched a diamond ring and whispered Ethan's name all day long. Chloe's guilt consumed her. She destroyed every trace of Ethan, including the ring. That was the final crack in Sophia's mind. She snapped. One night, she grabbed Chloe by the hair, slammed her onto the bed, and mercilessly broke both her legs. Julian took his daughter into his care after that. But Chloe couldn't cope with the pain and despair. Crippled and hopeless, she eventually ended her own life. Her suicide note read, "In my next life, I hope I have a happy family, and I hope I'm not my mother's daughter." Julian was crushed. Grief hollowed him out until he spiraled into deep depression. He too was admitted into the same psychiatric hospital as Sophia. Husband and wife became fellow inmates, cursing each other daily, each wishing the other would die first. The system showed Ethan everything, then asked coldly, "Are you satisfied now? Their lives are a living hell?" He only shrugged. "How? You reap what you sow." Then he turned his back on it all, pulling his wife and daughter close, kissing their warm cheeks. Fate had been kind. After the nightmare, he returned to his own world and won a $100 million lottery. No more worries, only a life filled with love, family, and peace. The system lingered for a while before leaving, sulking in silence. As it departed, Ethan caught sight of a faint figure standing beside it. It looked like Sophia, translucent, crying, her lips moving as if to say something, but he looked away. The past was past.